Hello again. Just a reminder that the videos I've made in this series reflect the IELTS levels of 4 and 5. That is very basic functional and vocational English. For IELTS level 6+, watch my later series of videos. To achieve success by the end of this series of videos, you should be able to use a minimum of 250 words, both written and spoken, as conversational Australian English. This would deem you to be competent at a vocational level. That's IELTS level equivalent of 5. Focus here must be on coherence and cohesion, lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, fluency, pronunciation and response. Also the use of varying levels of Australian English, that is slang, colloquial, informal and formal, as the situation and the topics of the conversations dictate. In earlier videos, we learnt the vocabulary associated with generations and family relationships, an overview of the education from birth to adulthood in Australia, some tourist places of interest, major cities and towns, food and cooking, accommodation in Australia, foods we eat, applying for employment, that is a job, and in this video we'll be learning vocabulary for neighbourhoods, lifestyle and accommodation. In Australian cities, there are currently a variety of choices of where to live. There are a lot of words here, but they will absolutely be very helpful when you visit Australia. I suggest you investigate what each word means while you listen and practice saying them. In Sydney, part of the plan for greater urbanisation of cities is a Labor government incentive to increase the amount of accommodation near transport hubs such as rail and bus links. They plan to achieve this by making the house blocks almost redundant and increasing the number of apartment blocks and making these larger. This will reduce the number of trees and green open spaces and will make the environment hotter and more congested. One of the problems in the area known as Western Sydney is the lack of trees, thereby making the area much hotter than it would be if the streets were lined with trees. Trees provide shade and also a place for native birds and other wildlife to live. You can see from this photo that the subdivision has removed the trees and replaced them with houses. As the cities expand, the number of native trees will be reduced and the area will warm up. There is no simple answer to the increasing population in cities other than to look towards further development of the regional and rural areas in the country, although even that has its disadvantages. The photo here of a coastal country town shows some elements of city living, apartments in the centre of town, while on the outer areas, houses and vegetation abound. When choosing our preferred type of accommodation, we have many options. We can choose a freestanding house. We can choose a duplex, which is essentially two houses that share a common wall. This is the common wall in those two houses, this one and this one next door. A villa home, which is usually a group of dwellings that are joined together. This. An apartment, which is just a name change. It's the latest name given to a block of dwellings built next to and on top of each other, all under one roof. A unit or a flat, what apartments used to be called. A terrace, again joined by common walls, sometimes in a block, but having their own individual roof. So this one here is one, this one here is another one, this one here is another one. We can even choose to live in a boarding house or a hotel. There are advantages and disadvantages for each of these choices. However, whatever we choose becomes our home. And there is a difference between a house and a home. Do you know what it is? Well, a house is a building in which people live. And a home is a place where people live and care about each other. A loving, caring family or group of people make a house a home. More vocabulary associated with where you live. Neighbours, friends, relatives, ethnic groups, religious groups, customs, society, social gatherings, suburbs, inner city living, dwelling, area, size of block, footpaths, parks, gardens, community gardens, home gardens, patio, you can also say patio, balcony, veranda, pet-friendly, urban, suburban, rural, regional, highway, freeway, motorway, main road, own, rent, lease, buy, sell, down payment, bond, real estate agent, solicitor, lawyer, conveyancer. In our next video, we'll be doing a lot of conversational practice, learning more vocabulary to achieve your goal of IELTS level 4 to 5. Please continue to watch the next videos where you'll learn more conversational English and extend your knowledge and skills in Australian English, reading, speaking, listening, writing and understanding. And can I ask you, if this content has been helpful, would you please subscribe to this channel? Many thanks and hope you get to Australia one day.